Julian, you must be really proud of the way that players come back on this year and reached a milestone this weekend.
Well, yeah, I've been involved in playing now for some time, so it's been we've sat next to each other at press conferences for a bunch of times now. We're just talking about it outside, I'm really pleased, quite proud of him. It's been his journey. I've been involved with it along the way, and obviously I've seen him at his best and I've seen him at his lowest too. So I think the important thing from my perspective is I've been there regardless. So that's been it's been good. So to see him achieve this moment, 12 months ago was a different scenario, but I don't think we ever sort of separated or just encouraged him, and so I'll be quite pleased to see him out there. Obviously the honour of 50 is fantastic, but obviously we're more pleased, and I know he will be too, if he can guide the team around the field and get us a really good result. That'll be the most important thing. The milestones are critical, and he'll still reflect upon it after the game, I'd imagine. The most important thing will be how he manages the game on behalf of the team.
What sort of things did you say to him 12 months ago?
Oh, it's never one conversation. It's just about being consistent. I'd like to be, as a coach, you've got to try and improve. One of the areas I've always tried to improve is my relationship with the players. It's an easy thing to be standoffish, and people don't think I'm emotional, but I do ride the emotions of winning and losing. Particularly, I'm not a very good loser, so people have got to know me. But I've tried to be more consistent as a coach. Consistency is about being the same person to the players, regardless of the circumstance. So I've tried to be that person. He's replayed me many times. He's been a terrific player. He's been, and particularly the last 12 months, I know the journey pretty closely, and I've been reading pretty well. And I sort of know that he's put a lot of effort into every part of his life, and it's the sum of all that gets to the outcome. It's never one thing. It's not one thing you do one day and suddenly it's all right. It's actually about effort over time. It's about consistency over time, and that's why he's had the chance to play consistently for us in the last period of time. And obviously, the milestone is significant for that reason.
He's played, he's had a pretty impressive sort of early career. Do you think what's to come after 50 caps could be as impressive or more?
Yeah, I don't think it's a finished article by any stretch. I think that the management of the game and the game balance side of things, there's always the extravagant aspect to his game, which is he can do things that I haven't seen anyone else do, or not many. That's always going to be there, and we don't want to shut any of that down, but there's also managing the moment, managing the context of the game and context of the tournament, whatever it is, and I think there's a maturity that develops, and it's inevitable with players as they come along. The maturity kicks in at some point, and I think that it's understanding the wider environment, having a slightly wider perspective on your contribution, your teammates, the team, and where everyone's at that point in time. I think that's where the most progress has been made. That's his journey, and all just been able to sit along and pat him on the back when it's been going well, and obviously encourage him when it hasn't been as good. Now that's been my role.
So what's this mark mean for you, Quade?
Yeah, well, firstly it sort of means that you're getting old. 50 games. The body's definitely feeling that way, but firstly it means hard work, perseverance. To be in the game that long, you've got to work hard at your game. You've got to persevere with the ups and downs of rugby on and off the field, but also just the friendships that you make along the way. So I've been fortunate enough to play with Willie since I was 16. Play a majority of my 50 games with him. Friendships like that. Whether you play 1 or 100 games, you meet so many people along the way. You get coached by people. I've had a great relationship with Link here. So to be able to have my 50th game under him, it's a great opportunity as well. But also just to be grateful for the things that rugby has given me. The house that I live in, being able to support my family, my friends, the people that I've met along the way. They all come off the back of rugby. If I wasn't playing rugby, none of this would have happened. To travel the world, play in front of these amazing crowds at these great stadiums and countries that I never would have thought of visiting. That's all off the back of rugby. So I've got a lot to be grateful for, and a lot to be thankful to the game for.
the start of the autumn, Sam Walton said that he thought Wales had maybe a psychological problem in the past against Southern Hemisphere sides, and maybe that's why they've lost out in tight games, I guess, particularly against Australia. How do you assess that from your perspective? Do you think Wales do have a kind of psychological block when it comes to playing and beating Northern Hemisphere sides?
Well, again, you've got to ask them. If he said that, then obviously they've had that. So whether that's changed this week, I don't know. It'll be interesting, but I guess acknowledging it's part of the way they're solving it. But it's been that way for a little while, so we'll see on the weekend.
Will, Quaid mentioned about how he played a lot of his rugby with you at 9. How good's it been to get the old partnership back on a sort of steady run of games?
Yeah, it's been really special. I mean, as Quaid said, I've played a lot of rugby together. We played a lot of footy together, both at state level and when we were kids, but also now at test level. So it's always special playing with him, and it's I guess it's a real privilege and honour to partner in this milestone game of his. So it's something I'm really looking forward to, and I guess it is really good to have that steady combination and consistency of playing together over the last sort of recent games. So hopefully we can get a good result this week.
How's the energy levels, Will? It's been a long year.
But to be honest, it's really good. We had a gym session this morning and everyone was bouncing off the wall, so everyone's really looking forward to finishing the year off well, and we understand that we have to train well, prepare well and put in a good performance. So I think we're all really looking forward to it. Yeah, everyone's really excited.
Well, what's your take on that psychological aspect? Do you think Wales is a problem with Southern Hemisphere teams?
I think Link sort of made it perfect. I mean, if they acknowledge it, then obviously there is a problem there on their behalf. So again, you'd have to ask them, and first step to dealing with a problem is admitting you have one. So.
Look, Link and I had a chat, and look, we talked through the facts of it, and there wasn't any facts in it, so look, that's fine. As I said before, look, the relationships that I've had with the guys and we've had within the group have been reassuring to us. So although a lot of things can get said from time to time in the media, as long as you know what's going on inside your own house, I don't think too much.
You're pretty confident.
Yeah, looking very, very confident. I feel the direction that we've taken as a group in the last couple of weeks and the performances we've put on the field. This last week has been one of the most enjoyable of the year, and you don't get that kind of time together with that enjoyment as a group unless everything's going well. And as I said before, the thing we've got to make sure we do now is to cap that off with a really good run.
Thank you.
Cheers, guys.